Peter Parker wakes up from a deep sleep trying to escape each and every one of his nightmares. It nearly almost scared the life out of him as he soon realizes that he has nothing left in life except the black Spider-Man suit that he fully starts to embrace. Fully suited up, Spidey goes swinging around the city, and while an old lady is being attacked, Peter panics to figure out which look he likes better. He eventually goes with the black suit and comes to disarm the criminal while simultaneously appearing more aggressive. It takes a second for the lady to find out who it was, as this version is now tall, dark, and handsome. As Peter swings away, he starts feeling tired and senses things that aren't there, which all turned out to be another nightmare, except this time with Mary Jane by his side. He apologizes for pushing her, elaborating on the reason behind everything, which she suspects is the black suit. Yet, he doesn't want to give it up, so goes out to swing around the city one more time before this time notices the suit's webs are running out. He starts hearing voices through the symbiote suit until he is suddenly ambushed by Hobgoblin. Spidey kicks the villain with so much force it sends him flying on top of a car and eventually overpowering the goblin to the point of unmasking him. He takes all his aggression out on the goblin, telling him the prison system does nothing, so now Spidey is playing for keeps. Peter later goes to visit Black Cat, who he shares a romantic moment that will release some of his anger for the world. The next day, Spider-Man stops to visit Reed Richards, telling them he hasn't been sleeping well lately, which may be a result of wearing the black suit. Reed starts conducting tests to find the root problem, which brings him suspicions on if the suit is alive in Peter's body or not. Wearing the suit comes with problems of fighting good against evil, where it seems the evil always comes on top. Spidey eventually wakes up when the tests were already complete, further revealing the suit bonds him both mentally and physically with his thoughts. Not just that, but it also makes Peter stronger, and now that he knows everything he needs to know about the suit, he swings away while thanking Reed. Peter would rather get some more rest instead, yet first stops by his Aunt May's house to share a couple pots of tea together and vent about his life. They are then attacked by Hobgoblin, who sadly took out Aunt May, so Spidey tries rushing to her rescue before it's too late. However, since the symbiote is weak to fire, he was stopped in his tracks. One side of Peter wants to cry out of emotion, whereas the other wants to get revenge by attacking Hobgoblin. He pleads to be forgiven, but this version of Spider-Man doesn't hold back and squeezes Hobgoblin's eyeballs before leaving him there to hang in webs. Peter struggles to cope with this for the next couple of days, and while he walks through the city, he feels guilty knowing he's wanted for murder. Kingpin is somewhat impressed by this, so contacts his criminal empire to go and humble Spider-Man by teaching him a lesson. Meanwhile, Jameson is angry that Spidey is now a killer, so would like to slander him all over the newspapers with dramatic headlines. That's when Peter breaks into Daily Bugle, simply not caring if Jameson calls the cops, because this version is fed up and nothing more than a proud criminal. Spider-Man is later attacked from behind, which was at the hands of Scorpion and Shocker, who happen to have been sent by Kingpin. Peter lets his symbiote suit slowly eat Scorpion alive before he then turns his attention to the injured Shocker. He goes to meet up with Kingpin and shows him the cut-off body parts, where Kingpin reveals the studies show that Peter and Spider-Man are the same person. That's when the symbiote suit snaps, and at this point is taking out every villain that manages to get in his way. Jameson suddenly stumbles on Beetle's deceased body, which leads them to notice Peter hiding up in the webs. The Sinister Six comes up with a plan, carrying the main goal of terrorizing Spider-Man for his crimes. Mysterio, Electro, Kraven, Rhino, and Doc Ock scout the area to find Spider-Man, but it didn't matter because the symbiote makes him ruthless. He literally takes out everyone in his path one by one, except for J. Jonah Jameson, who uses his huge robot suit in order to detain this variant of Spidey. Jameson creates an explosion which releases the symbiote, allowing Jameson to start getting Peter some assistance. He reveals everyone died except Eddie and Kraven, all because the suit that made him this way. Yet still not clear if the symbiote is fully dead. Black Cat can't help herself from worrying inside poor Mary Jane. The two girls argue back and forth about Peter's identity until stopped by the beautiful sight of him recovering. The symbiote tries speaking in his defense before soon interrupting Ben by breaking into the Baxter building. The symbiote takes control of the thing and ends up bonding with Reed Richards. Back at a shelter, Jameson and the others begin recovering, with Peter this time choosing to wear the regular Spider-Man suit. They figure out what the plan is for the night, in which Spidey denies taking Jameson, but will take Black Cat. When swinging through the city, he notices the Baxter building taken over by the symbiote and feels like it's the one to blame for it. MJ tries cheering him up, explaining everything is going to be fine if he can push through the darkness, further giving him a kiss of motivation. In the meantime, the Avengers are at the Baxter building with plans on how to overthrow the symbiote, hoping maybe Spider-Man could play a role in helping. Peter feels the suit trying to consume him again, yet since Captain America sees him as a joke, he removes his mask to make eye contact. Before entering the symbiote tunnel, She-Hulk gives them an earpiece to communicate through while they are away. Although MJ has worries, Peter assures it's his responsibility, prompting not only MJ to follow behind, but also Johnny Storm. They find that the infection is spreading by the second, with Peter gaining the courage to stop it himself. Human Torch tags along this mission until shortly stopped by the infected Ben Grimm. He targets Peter and takes out all his anger by slamming him up and down. With great responsibility, Spidey spins around the infected Ben, which restricts his arms with webs but is still not enough to stop the true power of the thing. With Reed Richards now fully consumed and bonded with the symbiote, it's a whole different breed, and not even Human Torch can stop him. The Avengers then fall victim of the symbiote, giving Peter a real chance.
This is what would happen if Rogue touched Deadpool. Rogue's ability to absorb powers without being anywhere near them makes her stronger than ever. One notable instance is when she absorbs Deadpool's healing factor, allowing her to survive the nuclear bomb. Due to them sharing powers, Deadpool survived right on the side of Rogue. Another time was when Wade and her met up again. She comes to ask if he hates her before dragging him up where she gives him a kiss. This made her absorb his cancer, whereas Wade turned into a Chad. He finds he has voices in his head, and in Rogue's head is a constant image of Deadpool, which he doesn't mind. Wonder Man comes to get